Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, will you hear me?
Yes, Bala.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, fine, fine. Okay, one second. Hello. Are you able to hear me now?
Hello.
Yeah. Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. This is Lawrence.
Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah. So your name?
No. Yeah. No.
I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to be a data? Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay. So you want to learn? See, my name is Lawrence.
Yeah.
I'm having like almost 12 years of experience in analytics thing. Right now, I'm in the team called Global Modeling Risk Analytics. Okay, so what we do, we create a models, and we one of the leading bank.
Okay.
Okay, so I use SAS technology,
No, I am a fresher.
and I create. Sorry,
No, I am a fresher.
okay, you are a fresher.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want on the data scientist side, right?
Yeah.
No, can you talk a little clear? So you want data scientist program. You want to be a data scientist programmer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So so are you in India or
No, I
outside?
am in India only. Chennai only. I am.
Okay, sure, good. So, okay, so normally, what I see, I am the data scientist programmer in my company. So I used to train the people for all the domains like of SAS, Hadoop, so all the things. But majorly, right now, we are training them in a SAS.
Yeah. Okay.
So can I know what's your background?
Yeah, I am a fresher.
Um,
I'm from CS department. We.
Sales department.
I am from
No.
BE Computer Science and Engineering department.
Okay. So, but do you have any little idea on SQL?
Yeah. Basic SQL knowledge. I have.
Okay, basically SQL thing. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So because to learn SAS, I'll tell you, it's not a rocket science. It's simple, but if you know a little bit on SQL, it will help you a lot to learn SAS.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so see, other than that, what see the one I'm taking a training. It has the PPTs. So these PPTs directly came from the SAS Institute. Okay, so because I worked little experience on this SAS Institute itself, who created SAS.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll refer the PPTs from the same thing, and I'll give her some real-time experience, and all other thing I'll explain you.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you need any specific domain, because I have worked on all the domains. I worked on the banking domain, insurance domain, pharmaceutical domain, life science domain. So if you let me know which domain you want to have more, touch base, I can help you on that also.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Once again, tell me.
Okay. No, no, I'm saying in case if you want any specific domain, insurance, banking, life
Okay.
science,
Okay. Okay.
anything pharmaceutical, and then even I can give you a little bit on, means I can explain you how this is SaaS is, while explaining each point, I'll explain how this is used in the insurance domain, how it is used in the pharmaceutical domain, like that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So you want to take a demo class, or you want to take a class, or you want to like how do you want to do? Because I'm a trainer here. I'm giving a training like fast for 4 years here. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So how do after this class you're going to come here, or you're going to continue the class in the same team viewer only? I thought
Yeah,
you're
it's
from
a distance.
other place.
Yeah, I am. It's a distance basis only. I taken online.
Okay, sure. So definitely I can help you. to teach you on SAS. One good thing in me, okay, as I said, I have 12 years of experience. In SAS, there are three levels of exam is there: base SAS, advanced SAS, SAS B. Okay, I have done the base and advanced SAS certification 100 out of 100. So if you go to SAS website and search my name Lawrence Rajendran, you will find my name. In the world, only 17 people completed base and advanced 100 out of 100. So I am one among them. So I have trained so many people on the SAS certification also. So you can just, I also have written so many white papers in SAS forums, SAS websites. You can see my name, as I said, like Lawrence Rajendran. If you search by my name, you'll find so many SAS user group forums, SAS user group white papers. So I like almost I'm doing so many means R&D of all SAS things. Right now I was involved in the other technology also, but majorly I'm working on SAS.
Okay.
Okay, so it's good because even as I was telling to my earlier batch people, there are lots of opening in SAS, especially with the big data, especially with the analytical background, and they're good in the market. So if you let me, okay, because if you want to take a class, see if it's possible, you can come on Saturday, Sunday. No, if it is not possible, yes, we can do it in this way also. But I would suggest if you come directly and take, it will be means. But based on my past, like 12, almost 8 years, I'm doing this job. So based on my past experience, I can do online. But if you come directly, also it'd be good. But it's up to you. Okay, if it is like far
Yeah.
place, then yeah, we cannot just help you on that. Um,
Okay.
okay. So can I take some little bit introduction of SAS?
Yeah, sure.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. See. Okay. So SAS is like a statistical analysis system. It was developed in 1970 in the North Carolina state. And who is the father of SAS? There's a person called Jim Goodnight. He's the one founder of SAS Institute, and there they have found this SAS thing. Okay. The reason they created this SAS in the initial days, it is for the pharmaceutical agriculture purpose. So they started only for the agriculture thing. How SAS looks like? It looks like this. This is a SAS window. There are four windows will be available. This is called Resultant Explorer window, code window, log window, output window. Okay, so definitely I'll give you this version. If you want, you can practice. You can practice also. So code win. I'm just giving this. It looks like this. Then okay. So if you have a data, say you have a data with you, you take any type of data. It's a pharmaceutical data, banking data, or life science data. Any data you take, it if you have the data, you can do four different things. You can do access the data. You can analyze the data. You can manage the data, and you can present the data. So these are the four things can be done with any data. So using SAS also you can do these four different things: accessing, analyzing, managing, presenting the data. Using there are two things. There is something called proc step, data step, which we'll see. Okay, these are the overall SaaS products which is available in the market, and it is keep on adding every year. It's keep on getting adding. So probably like we'll see base SaaS and advanced SaaS in these sessions. Okay, so these are all different. Okay. Now we can come into SaaS environment. Okay, now let's we start on the base SaaS. Okay, so in the base SaaS, there are two steps involved. If you see the two PPTs before, there are four things can be done in SaaS. As I said, like access the data, analyze the data, manage the data, and present the data. So those four things, if you want to do, you have to do with two steps. One is called data step, another is called proc step. Okay. Now, what do you mean by data step? What is a proc step in SAS? If you take, say, if you say Excel sheet, if you try to open an Excel sheet, and in the Excel you call this as a table, right? So this entire section is called table, and so you call this as column, right? So this is called column. So this A, B, C, D is a column, and 1, 2, 3 these are all rows. In SAS we call all the table is called as data set. The table will be called as a data set. All the columns will called as variables, and the rows are called as observation. Okay. So in going forward, I don't use a table, I don't use column, I don't use a row. In SAS, we follow all the table to call as data sets. Columns are called as variables, and row is called as observation. So data, if you see here, data means it's a data step. Proc means procedure step. Okay, so yeah, that's all. If you want to learn base SAS, there are only two steps: data step and proc step. And there are four data steps are available. Some around 13 proc steps are available. If you learn these two things, that's all. Base SAS is completed. Okay. So now, any doubt till here before we go next?
No,
Okay.
no, no.
So, okay. Good. So the next, what other things can be done in the data step? Okay. First point, put your data into a SAS data set. In meaning, say you have a nowadays all the files are the source files are available in the different format. Say text file format, Excel format, CSV format, tab delimiter format. So you can bring all the data and you can convert into a SAS dataset format. Why we are converting into SAS dataset format? Why we are converting into SAS dataset format? Because we want to do some analysis and reporting. Second one, compute the values for new variables. It's like altering your data. And the third, produce new datasets by subsetting, merging, and updating existing datasets. Yes, if you have a dataset, you can do a copy into a new dataset. You can do a subsetting. You can merging multiple datasets. You can do a alter on your datasets using a data. So this is a major use of data step. Okay, what other thing can be done in proc step? Proc is nothing but procedure, a short form of procedure. So what are the steps can be done in the procedure? Point number one, we can print a report. Say you created some analysis and you want to print that into a report. Yes, you can do it. You can do predictive, descriptive, statistics, plot, chart, all this. And the last point, create a tabular report. Okay, most of the procedures we can all are predefined. If I want a simple example, say example, there is a employee data set, and in that there is a variable called gender. Okay, so you want to do a small analysis. How many male are there? How many female are in the data set? So there is a procedure called proc freq. If you just pass the table name and the data set, the variable name, it give a frequency of the result in a less than a minute. Okay, so that's a big advantage in SAS. Like compared to other tools, SAS gives in a very faster way. Even if you pass 1 crore of record, or like more than like 1 million of record, billion of record, it will take very less time to run. Okay, the last point, run statement. Every data step and proc step, it starts with data or proc and always ends with run. Okay, so whenever SAS find the run keyword, so what it will understand? Okay, it will tell the SAS that okay, data step or proc step has ended. So I'm done with my thing. So you stop execute it. Okay, so always what they say, always you try to put run statement in the each data and procedure block. Okay, so this is like a simple explainer of data step and proc step. So what other things can be done in data step? What other things can be done in proc step? Both the steps it should end with a run key. Any doubt till here?
No, it's clear.
Okay. So some simple example. What is the example for like a data step and proc step? So as I said, you can see the above block is called data step and the below block is called proc step. Okay, because as I said, okay, in the data step we can do a converting a different file into a SAS dataset. So now what happened in the first example, they are trying to convert some different raw file, which is a text file, and they're converting into a SAS dataset using a data. So you can see it starts with data and it ends with a run. So this block is called data block, and you can see a block. Okay, so what this proc print data, your dataset name and run, what this will do, it'll just print the dataset in the output screen. As I explained you, there are three windows available in SAS. Simple example, if I want to just show you,
Hello.
it will just show the result in the output screen. Okay. And proc means is there another statistics which gives all the five different values, like what is the minimum of that value, what's the maximum of the salary, and what's the average of salary, what's the standard deviation of the salary. So so it gives all the information to. So I'll explain in detail, but as of now, you can able to see how the data step looks like, how the proc step looks like. So how it is separated, and all each statement is ended with a semicolon. Any doubt till here?
Yeah, no, no, no.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Now, as we seen the same thing earlier step, all the SAS steps begins with a data statement or proc. Okay, and also SAS detects the end of the step when it encounter whenever it finds a run keyword, it will say this is the end of my step. Or whenever it find a quit keyword, that is it say it's the last step. Okay, why do we use quit here? You remember that's why I asked the first question. Do you know little bit on SQL? So when you write SQL code, the end of the code you try to write quit, right? Quit, rollback, all these things you
Yeah,
write.
yeah,
Remember? Yeah.
yeah.
So whenever you are trying to use any SQL code in the SAS, you have to use quit. Okay, so which we'll see in the advanced SAS in detail. Okay, if any other data or proc steps, if it comes, that time also SAS will think because this is my end of the code. Um, I think you understand first 2 points. Any explanation do you need for the third point? Beginning of the step.
Beginning of that's how another program will start, right?
So you want me an explanation on the third point?
Yeah, yeah, just it's good.
I have the example here. See, always, are you able to see my code? Okay, always it ends with run statement, right? This data has to be end with this data step end with a run statement, and proc prints. Okay, I can remove. So what it mean if it finds any other proc or what it will think till whatever the above state, it's a different block. Okay, so in this situation, you don't need a run statement. You are going to combine a data step with another proc step or any data step with another data step. So that's a point which if either or the beginning of any other, so it will not give any error. If you run it, it won't give any error. It just give the result in the output screen. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. So there are two modes available in SAS. One is they say batch mode and other they say interactive mode. Okay, the one which you are looking, this is a interactive. Interactive mode in the sense you can write your code, you can see your output, you can do all the analysis here itself. Okay, the batch mode is like, say example, you're going to run the code on the batch server, so which you cannot see it. You can just submit the code and it will be running. It's like command prompt. So what happens? You submit the code in the command prompt, and how the normally how we should name dots as enter the code. Okay, so what happens? It'll keep on running, and once it finishes, then it'll say that your code is completed. You have to go and open it. So that's called. So when people use the interactive mode, when people hello.
Okay, my voice is breaking.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, no problem.
I think for me it's better. Is it better?
Still I have the problem.
Oh, is it better?
Now you just
Hello.
speak.
Let me. Is it better?
No.
Hello.
Hello.
Is it better?
Hello.
Yeah. Is it better?
Yeah, sure. Nice.
One second. Are you able to
Hello.
Hello, are you able to hear?
Hello. Yeah, first half of the voice is good. After that, I cannot able to hear.
Sorry, I think next time I'll try with a different headphone.
Yeah, okay, okay, okay.
So, but is it better to continue, or you want a different headphone to install?
Yeah, it's no problem. Now it's okay. You just continue.
Okay, good. So that's what I was explaining. What is the difference between batch mode? So batch mode is like you cannot see the code how it is running. The interactive mode where you can see your code, where you can see okay what is the output is coming, everything. Okay. So before getting into SAS thing, okay, do you know what is SAS is a software or is a tool? Any idea what is SAS? SAS is a software or a tool? It's a tool. Okay. So what's the difference between software?
Hello.
No idea. Okay. Say example. If you see the history of the language, which is we have it in the initial stage. The earlier there was a I hope you know that there was a person called Ken Thompson who created B. From B they created a language. From C they created C++. Agree?
Yeah.
From C and C++ they created Java.
Yeah.
Okay. So to create a SAS. Okay. Sorry. SAS we have different versions. Okay. Right now we are 9. Okay. So till 8.9 we were using C and C++.
Yeah. Hello.
To create a SAS, they use C and C++. Okay. So after 9.0 onwards, they are Java. Hello, are you with me?
Hello. Yeah.
Are you able to understand? Till 8.
Yeah, just now I
Okay,
Hello.
till 8.9. Hello.
Yeah, you just explained the lessons.
Okay. So the SAS we have different version from 1.0 to 9. Till 8.9 they were using C and C++. Okay, using C and C++ they build this. After 9.0 they are using Java. Okay, so what you can see, you will see the till 8.9, it's a single tasking. After that, okay. So the difference between okay, using a first point, using a software, you can build another software. Right? Using a software, you can create another. Right?
Hello.
Hello?
Your voice is not clear.
Hello?
Hello. Your voice is
Not
not
clear.
clear.
But here it's good only once again. Is it better now?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Uh, okay. Is it better?
Yeah, now okay.
Okay. So using a software, you can create another software.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, you just can close down the dialog box. The team dialog. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what's the difference between software and a tool? If you have a software, you can create another software. For example, from B, C created. From C, C++ created. Right? Okay. And also, using a software, you can agree. Using C, C++, Java, they created. Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. But you cannot create any software Also, you cannot create any tool. Okay, so major difference between software and tool. Using a software, you can write another software, or you can create another software. Using software, you can build a tool. But using tool, you cannot create any software. You cannot build a. It's just a tool which you can use it. That's all. Okay. Next step. Can I go to the next step? Or you want to see some little demo how SAS works? Hello. So can I continue, or do you want a demo?
You just continue.
Can you loud? Can you talk a little louder? Sorry.
Yeah, okay, you just continue.
You want to go? Sorry, voice is very low.
So you just continue the class. Hello?
We'll continue the. You're saying we'll continue the class.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the next is in the SAS program we're going to talk about what are the syntax rule which is available in SAS and what is the syntax. Okay. So before going into this, do you know what is the difference between compilation time and execution time? Compilation time and execution time. So what will happen on the compilation time and what will happen on the execution time? So whenever you run a SAS, means any code, when you run any software, any tool, so there are two phases. Everyone will say, right? Compilation phase and execution phase. So what's the difference between compilation and execution? So what will happen in compilation? What will happen in execution? Any idea?
At compilation, it shows any error.
Right? So good. So that's the second point. Normally compilation phase it check for the syntax error. Yeah, that's the second point. So what is the initial point normally? Okay. Second point is checking the syntax error. First point is say you are typing SAS code, right? So you are typing something called data C input name data lines, all these things. Whether your system can understand all this English language, definitely it will not understand, right? System will understand only zeros and ones, right? So the machine code is only zeros and ones. So what will happen? All your English statement will be converted into a machine level, right? Machine level language. Then it will do the check for the syntax. Okay. So once your compilation is completed, then the execution phase will come. And then, so normally that's a difference between compilation and execution. Okay. Okay. So here, layout for SAS programs. So when you are trying to write any SAS program, what is the layout? Okay. They can begin and end anywhere. Okay, that's a one point. So you can write your code even half of the page, or you can end anywhere. One statement can continue over several times. Yes, you can write it multiple times. Several statement can be also write it in one line. So these are the layout of your coding. How do you rules? Usually begins with an identifier keyword and ends with a semicolon. Yes, we have seen some sample code. SAS statements are free form. Yes, and one or more blanks as special characters can be used to separate the words. And also the important point, SAS is not a case sense. It's okay. SAS it's not a case sensitive language. You can write your whatever the SAS keywords you can write in uppercase, you can write in smaller case. So it's not a case sensitive. Okay. So what are the errors can come in SAS like misspelled of keywords? Example, instead of data, you're putting daea, something different spelling. So it's a error. Missing or invalid functions or invalid option. And when SAS encounters a syntax error, SAS underlines the error and the following information, and it returns to the. Okay, so I explained you there are four windows are there: Explorer window, Editor window, Log window, Output window. The use of Editor window, you can type all your code. The use of Log window, it will show how your compilation time and execution, like how much time it has taken, all that. Say if there is error. Okay, say I missed a semicolon here. Okay, I'm just running this code. So what will happen? I will get a error in my. There is a error occurred in the log which comes in the red color and say the word error. Say you are missing one of the thing is missing in your. So that's what they are saying that, and the word error are warning the location of the error in which line the error is occurred. So it gives the detailed information in your log screen. Any doubt till now? Good. Next one. Okay, how do I correcting a syntax error? So just now, as I said, the same thing they are explaining here. Like you can see, okay, the error will come here. It says on your line here, it is expecting some of the above this. So it means you missed a semicolon in 259th line. So you can go and just give a semicolon there. Then you can correct it. Then again you can run the code. So it will not give any error in the code. So that's what they are saying that how do you correct your error? Okay. Okay. Now, next step. I have created a data set. Okay, I have created a data set. Okay, I'll explain how to create a small data set. Okay. So I want to create a data set which has the name and age variable. I want to just create a data set which will have name and age. Data, your data set name, okay. So this is the way to create a data set. So data ends with run, and this is a data set name, and there are two variables, name and age. Based on the value which you are declaring, it will take whether it's a numerical format or character format. So if you run this code, okay, it will show in your log. Okay, it is created and it has one observation and two variables. In case if you want to see, you can go to the Explorer, Libraries, Work Library. So there will be a test. You can open and see the data set. I'll explain in detail, but this is a simple way how to create a data set with one observation. Okay. Now, you created a data set. Okay. So now data set has two portions. One we call as descriptor portion. What do you mean by descriptor portion? Descriptor portion is nothing but your metadata of your. So what do you mean by metadata? Normally, what's a term called metadata?
Data about data.
Yeah, data about data. Very good. So if you want to know the descriptor, the metadata of your data set, so what are you supposed to do? Okay, SAS comes with one procedure called proc condense. If you use a proc condense, it will give the metadata information of the data set. Okay, example, the one we just created on data set. I'm just creating a metadata for that using proc condense. So if I run this procedure, I'll get my metadata information. Okay, what do you mean by metadata information? When it was created and who created and how many variables are there, how many observations are there, what are the types of variable. So it will have all the metadata information about the data set. So this is called descriptor portion of the data set. Okay, so as I mentioned, so this is the descriptor portion which I give you. So all the metadata information. Okay, so to get the metadata information for the we use a procedure called proc condense, which gives all the metadata information. Okay, and if you see, you would have noted here I have created a variable name first and age second, right? But when it gives the metadata information, it given age first and the name second. So what it mean, whenever it give the metadata information, it will list out the variable in a ascending order. Okay, you can see here the number 1, 2 comes first. Why? Because the A is, if you sort this by ascending order, A comes the first. Okay, so no, I want the metadata information the way it was created. I want the way it was to list out in the way it is. So you have to use something called var num option, which is there in SAS. You can see whenever you type a SAS keywords, it gives in a different color. Okay, so that from that also you can understand if I run the same metadata code, you can see here I'm getting the variable in the way how it was created. Okay, so now you know like how to get the metadata information for my SAS dataset. Any question until here?
No.
Okay, good. Thank you. Next line. Now, say this is a data set you have. Okay, so first I have seen the metadata information. Now we are going to see the data portion of the data set. Data portion is nothing but the real your data values. Okay, so say you have created a data set, and this information is called your data portion. To get the data portion, what procedure normally you use? Just now we seen one data. We use a proc print. To get the data portion, we use proc print data equal to your dataset name and run. So what will happen? It will print your data portion of your dataset and the output screen. So that's a next point is how do I get my data portion of the data? Okay, so now I repeat, there are description portion. Okay, how using proc. Okay, how do I get that using proc print? Any doubt till for the descriptor portion and data portion and the code?
No, it's clear.
Can I continue?
Yeah, continue.
Okay. Okay. Next, they given some like what are the like data type supports it. Okay, so it supports only 2 data types. If you compare to your software and the tool, there are something called the interfloor, char, varchar 2 something and will be there. But in SAS only either numerical format or a character format. Okay, so if you declare within single quotes or double quotes, that will treat as a character format. Without any single quotes and double quotes, it will treat as a numerical format. Okay, so now how SAS is considering date, whether it's a numerical format or character format. Okay, instead of seeing here, you can just see. Okay, say example. Okay, so this is a date. Okay, if you want to store this date into a SAS, how it will treat, whether it will treat as a numerical data type or a character data type. In SAS, all the dates are considered as a numerical data. Okay, then you can ask me a question like Lawrence, but you can see there is a word called JAN, which is a character. So how it will treat as a numerical variable? Yes. Okay. What happened in SAS? They kept something called cutoff date. Okay, so the cutoff date they given 1st Jan 1960. Okay, so what happened when you store this data set and you open the data set, you will see a number called 361. Why? Whatever the date you are declaring, it will take the number of days between 1st Jan 1962, whatever the date, and it will store that number into your data set. That's why SAS is considering the date as a numerical form. I repeat, okay, SAS has a cutoff date which is 1st Jan 1960, and if you pass any date, it will take the number of days between the 1st Jan 1962, the date which you are giving, and that date it will keep as a is stored as a numerical variable. Okay. Okay. So that's why you can see here SAS date values. SAS stores date as values as numerical value because it takes the number of days between 1st Jan 1962 a specific date, whatever the date you're getting. So some example they are given here. Any doubt on the data type? Okay, one thing is if numerical missing is there, say in other language missing you call as null, null, right? Null and null in SQL you say null.
Yes.
In numerical missing here it is called as dot. You can see dot, right? Numerical missing called dot, and character missing is a space. You can see it here, the last one. Missing values are valid values for character, blank, and numerical values, period. Period is nothing but dot. Okay. Any doubt on the data type?
No.
Okay. Let me go to the next one. Okay, some your data set naming convention. Okay, how do I keep my data set name? What is the rule on my data set name? Okay, it can be 32 characters long. It can be uppercase, lowercase, or mixed case. And third point, it must start with a letter or underscore, and subsequent characters can be letters, underscores, and numerical digits. And special characters can be used in a data set, and variable names if you put the name in the follow means quoted quotes followed by immediate by letters and like that. Okay, so what they are trying to say, your maximum characters is 32 bits, and your data set should not start with any number. It has to start with either underscore or any other letter. Okay, so to give the meaningful names. So this is just a rule. No. What do you mean by library? SAS library. Okay, library is like where you can store your SAS files. Okay. There are two libraries available in SAS, temporary and permanent library. Okay. So if I take you to the SAS window, you can see in the Explorer. Okay. You can see libraries. Okay. These are the three libraries. Work library, SAS help library, and your SAS user library. Here, the work library is a temporary library. So whatever you store in work library, say if the power goes or you shut down your system or you forgot to save the code or whatever, so the data set will be deleted. But these two are the permanent libraries. Okay, but these two you cannot have a write access. So these two is for one is for SAS user is help for it has so many built-in data. Okay, you can see SAS help. It has so many built datasets which you can use it for your training purpose. So you want to learn some like you want to apply some your knowledge. So they are given some predefined datasets. If you then what is use of SAS user? It is for its own purpose, like for SAS internal purpose. We are not supposed to use this library. Okay, so we can use work library, which is a temporary. We can use SAS library, which is a permanent library. Okay, so any doubt on the library? So if you want to create a permanent library, yeah, I'll explain you how to create a permanent library. Okay. So sorry, I forgot your name. Anu. Okay. So Anu, so do you want me to continue full like this? Because I have okay, I continue the same way the PPTs. Okay. I'll tell you I have totally 5 PPTs. PPT 1, PPT 2, 3, 4, and 5. All the five PPTs like I'll normally go through. So it is like if you spend sorry Saturday Sundays only, then it will take a month maximum a month to complete. Maximum saying, if you take on daily basis, it will be completed in 3 weeks. And also, I have some SAS exam codes. Okay, where you can practice and you can apply for the exams. Okay, and also I have
Okay.
the SAS portable versions. So you can see here, I have the SAS. Sorry, I'm not well. SAS portable versions you have, so you can open it and you can practice it also in your home.
Yeah, okay, okay.
And I'll be giving you some task every class after every class. Sorry, I'll give some like task. You have to me submit in before that. So end of all the class, I'll give some dummy projects and which you have to do, and you just show to me. Then I'll try to help you on all that. So if I understand
Okay.
correctly, you are a fresher, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, Aru. So if you want, I can keep continue, but I don't know like how much you learn as of now, because you have to practice parallelly whatever I'm saying it. So when I say how
Okay.
to create a data set, how do you get the data, metadata information, the data portion, all this. So you have to follow on that. So if you want, I just put a hold here. So I based on your response, I'll continue.
Yeah, okay, sure, sure.
So you can tell your feedback to my this institute people. So they will let me know.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Actually, I'm leaving now to go to church now. So you can just tell them what's your thing, and definitely they'll let me know. I'm available on daily morning 8 to afternoon 1 o'clock. Okay, and the
Okay.
weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I'm available on morning 10 to 4.
Okay, okay, okay.
So Saturday I used to go to church. So till 4 o'clock I'm available. Morning 10 to 4.
Okay.
I'm having multiple batches, but you just tell which time you are okay. Then based on that, means I can change my schedule and I can talk to the other people almost for every class. So let me know how do you want to proceed. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sure. I'll discuss with Shekhar.
Okay. Can I go to Sagar?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Shekhar.
Yeah. Session was finished, right?
Shekhar. Sorry?
Hello. Session was finished.